I am Jingyu from Department of Cultural Geography in the Faculty of Spatial Sciences, and I really appreciate this opportunity to share my research about the landscape value and land use preference of local people living in Wulingyuan. Well, Wulingyuan is a place in China. It is a protected area and also a famous tourism destination. So speaking of a tourism destination, I think most of us will think of beautiful sceneries as shown in the pictures. Well, what I want to say here is I call it new wilderness because before the place was designated as a protected area and become famous, it's it's a place in the middle of nowhere and nobody visit there. And this place was inhabited by Tujia people, which is a ethnic group, a minority ethnic group in China. So after it was designated as a protected area, some of the local people they were resettled outside the core of the park. So what we see now is a place with some tourism facilities and some design landscape which is prepared for the tourists. Actually, before it was designated as PA, which means protected area, people here do have agricultural activities, but afterwards they were forbidden to do such activities and were moved away from their home. So there are many tensions between stakeholders like local communities and other private companies and conservationists. As you can see in the picture, this village is just in the middle of those beautiful mountains, and I see it as a part of the nature. Whereas in some policymakers of this place regard them as the how to say the weakness of the area, which is to be demolished. And the conflicts are caused by the different values and preferences of those stakeholders. I think the local people, of course, is always the vulnerable groups among those stakeholders because they are generally lower educated and they're not properly included in the decision-making process. And sometimes they fight for their rights, but yes, you can say that there are some private companies and also the conservationists who have more power, have more rights to develop their own agendas in these parks. So my research focus on how should local people be viewed in natural resources management practices and how they can be positively impacted. In terms of the sustainable development of this area, the support of local communities are actually important, and their rights and their voice should be heard in the decision-making process. The local value actually is as important as the aesthetic value that is to be preserved in this park. So thanks to this grant, I have finished my fieldwork in the last 3 months. I have lived there for 3 months to communicate with local people and did some 1,000 questionnaire to let them map the landscape area that they value, to explore their priorities and their needs. Actually, with the help of this grant, I was able to stay longer so that I can get more solid and more effective, efficient data collection. I hired 3 local people who are they are also students and graduates from college who is spending their gap year at home, and they help me to share the questionnaires with their neighbors, their families, so that I can do a better research. So I think if I can visualize this result, it would be a great reference for the decision makers to consider the needs of the local people and help them.
Your time is almost up, so can you finish it off with 1 or 2 lines?
Yes, so that they can make better policies to involve the local communities. Thank you very much.